just when we thought we're going to set up this podcast for tonight, and it'll be me, you, and Tony, because we've not done an actual physical episode for ages. Just the three of us. We've always had someone else involved, or we've just been doing content when it's just the three of us. Poor Tony is dealing with his little ones being very, very poorly. So it's just me and you, Woody.
Yeah. Wish Tony all the best with his little ones and everything that's going on. Hopefully, we'll get a three of us podcast next week.
It's one of them things. You're always doing a podcast with people that have families. You're going to find out very, very soon when your little one gets here. It gets harder when you've got kids because they've always got to come first, Woody. I say that, and I'm pretty sure my kid's at the door banging, trying to get in again. But we are here with episode 6, and for some reason, maybe something to do with a trailer that I've been dying to talk about, we're calling it "How About Another Joke," because
I like it.
It's lines from the first movie. You have seen the first movie, right? Before we get into talking about the Joker
trailer. Yes. Yep, I've got things to talk about the first movie.
Okay. So it's just me and Woody this week, and we've got trailers to talk about. We've got some other stuff to talk about. We'll probably, even though we've not even spoke about it, we'll probably drop the A to Z of Dork. We'll wait till there's at least 3 of us with the A to Z of Dork. So you have to hold to find out what our C's are. But we've even got listeners' questions to get through, those to get on. And Woody, I think we should dive into. Do you know what? Before we actually get into that, obviously we have been doing a lot of wrestling content.
We have. Very heavy.
Very wrestling heavy. And I just wanted to, obviously, we've always said that we need to sort of make a point of reminding people that we are still the same Talks with Dorks that's going to talk about everything else. But there's been a lot of wrestling to talk about because there was WrestleMania and we're all big wrestling fans. So apologies to anybody that wasn't a wrestling fan. Yeah. We're going to not bang on about it as much until next year's WrestleMania or maybe SummerSlam if something big happens, but we'll tone it down a little bit. We still have some content to do with it.
Still have the odd update here and there. I've got a little bit to talk about today just to kind of round it off for what we've been talking about the past couple of weeks. And then maybe, if anything else exciting happens, we'll talk about it. But I think it's time to just tone the wrestling down a little bit. Get back to the geeky stuff that we normally talk about on this podcast.
Yeah, and there's been some, it's felt like for a little while as well. Luckily, there was the wrestling because there weren't any, real big trailers coming out or anything. I mean, there's been some shows starting and stuff, but I'm not going to lie. I've been watching old shows instead of new shows, but there's a few that I want to watch. But let's get down to the basics. I feel like we need to loosen up a bit, Woody, because, my laptop's telling me it needs a clean. I'm pretty sure I cleaned this yesterday.
I think you did yesterday, didn't you?
I was trying to do everything to sort it out. I literally didn't have sound at one point. That's how bad it was. Let's loosen up. Woody, what's the best and funniest joke you can think of off the top of your head?
Nah, you can't put me on the spot.
I can't put you on the spot?
No.
Right, okay. Let me think.
I don't have jokes just in the top of my head like that.
Do you know what? I thought I had one, but then I realised it was probably too inappropriate, so I'm not going to go down that route because I've got a bit of a, I've realised since we've changed up the podcast, there has been a missing part of the link when it comes down to Ash not being here, because Ash loved to push them up and try to get me to say too many things and get me cancelled. And funny enough, do you know what? I had a message from Ash, and I know we were going to go into the geek news, but I feel like maybe we should just get this over and done with, Woody, because I've been dying to send you this video. Ash said,
yeah, and I've been dying to hear it, actually.
Me and Ash went to Scott's wedding the other day, my best mate's wedding. Obviously, I was best man, and me and Ash recorded a video. I actually said to Ash, my camera's going.
Your camera's falling, yeah.
Yeah. I actually said to Ash, I'm going to choose the right moment to record it, because he was drinking, and I was like, I'm going to choose it when I know you're at a decent level of being funny, Ash, to record it. So this is the video. Obviously, we're going to post a video with it. I'm going to send it to Woody. I've been holding this back, and Woody's going to have a little listen to Ash's message. And
I've been dying to hear this.
Okay, so hello. I wanted to get this message because I'm trying to explain to Ash that on the podcast now, he's gone from being the podcast where it was just me and him to now you've become like a myth.
A liability.
You've always been a liability, but you've now become like a myth. It's been so long since you've been on an episode. It's now just one moment referring to you on an episode that I wanted to make sure people remember who you are.
Go back to the old episodes and you'll remember why I'm a liability. Why I can no longer be on YouTube. We'll be banned within...
Could you at least do me a favour? Can we just arrange you come even if we don't post it, because we'll know by probably about 10 minutes in whether we're going to post it or not. Come do an episode soon with all of us. Yeah, I've got this on video. This
with
is
all
going.
Of us?
All 4 of us.
With fucking hell, it's a gangbang.
It's good. You'll love it.
Do love a gangbang.
It's going to get weird on the podcast again.
I like it.
I couldn't hear any of that, so I didn't know where you were watching. I was just sitting there.
You couldn't hear it?
No.
Oh, I hope the recording could hear it. I set it up so you should be able to.
No, I didn't hear a word of it. But it's all good.
Oh.
So I convinced him that he should come back for an episode, but I've also said it may not get posted because now we're trying to do YouTube and stuff like that. And the thing is, as you can tell just from his sense of humour with Ash, he wants to try and get you counter. He loves pushing the mark. So
yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get him out. Maybe there'll be some bits we could post and tell people, like, we did record an episode with Ash, but now he's gone. But anyway, that's living what happened at the weekend with me going to this wedding and stuff like that. Let's get into some geek news, Woody. Let's start talking some trailers. And the first one that come out was Joker Folie à Deux. You said you've seen the movie. Obviously.
The first movie.
Yeah,
not seen this one yet.
Yeah. Have you? I've got it pirated. You've seen the first one. Did you enjoy it? What's your thoughts on that?
Yes. Joaquin Phoenix, probably my favourite Joker. Just saying it. Love the first movie with him in. I think he's great. And I cannot wait to see this new one.
See, my story goes obviously with Joker. You know, I don't know if you've noticed this being my nephew and that, Woody, but I like dressing up as a Joker as well. And ever since that movie, I've been his Joker pretty much every year. He isn't. I know you've got a question, and we're going to do some listener questions, but we might as well, while we're talking about Joker, Chantel, your lovely partner, asked a question. Partner sounds so posh. Your wife, the wife.
Oh, boy.
My wife, the missus, asked the question, which was,
who is your favourite actor to play Joker? Like, I didn't know how to word it, but that's kind of how she worded it. Who's your favourite Joker, basically?
Who's been your favourite Joker? I've answered this question many, many times. And Joaquin Phoenix, you said, is your favourite Joker, so that's obviously your answer. My favourite Joker is Jack Nicholson, the Joker that was with Michael Keaton's Batman, because that was my first Joker, and that's the one I fell in love with. But, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, it's so close. When it comes to acting and the movie, everything about, because it was all about him. Joaquin.
Yeah.
He's so good.
It's so unique. He portrays it in such a unique way, which I find fucking cool. I really do like the way he plays the Joker.
See, obviously, a lot of people always go with Heath Ledger, and that is, I love Heath Ledger. I think he was fantastic as a Joker, but for me, he just wasn't. He's never been my. I loved what he did, and I respect, you know, that a lot of people love that version of him, but he's just never been me. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the scarred smile. I like a more painted Joker smile, a bit more smooth, sexy kind of Joker smile, than a scary one. But he was a great actor and phenomenal job, and it is fucking iconic, that's for sure. But Joaquin, go on.
I think Heath Ledger is Chantel's favourite Joker. I think that's what she said. We'll have to get a comment from her on that one.
Yes, yeah. So with Joaquin, I think what I loved about that first movie is that you know what he's going to become, because you know the law. You know he's going to become the Joker. But what they do is they make you fall for Arthur Fleck, and you feel sorry for him. So when he does snap, you kind of agree with it, and that's this camera, mate. I've not got this set up straight. You kind of fall into the trap of actually like understanding why he's murdering people, even though it's like, oh shit, he just snaps. But but because you feel sorry for him and it draws you in. And that's what I loved about this new trailer is that you start and it's the colors. There's no color to it. It's very dull and there's rain outside.
Until the rainbow umbrellas come up.
But you know what? Do you know what I think that is? So obviously, just before he goes outside, he's being walked along, and you see Lady Gaga, aka Harley Quinn, and obviously that's the first. I think that's the first time he sees her, and his life has got no color, no meaning because he's in prison. And when he goes
Yeah,
outside and he's thinking of her, obviously, because when you first see them umbrellas and they're walking out the door, they're normal, they're dark
yeah.
colored. But when
Until
you
the
see
top
them,
down view. Yeah,
it's like his life's brightened up with her. It's such a like. I mean, obviously, this is meant to be a musical as well. They're they're going to be
okay,
singing in it, so there's going to be songs, and they've said that it's all popular songs. It's not they've written songs for the movie. It's all songs that we will probably know.
okay.
So
I'm interested to see Lady Gaga's take on Harley Quinn as well.
because when this first got announced as Lady Gaga, my first reaction was Lady Gaga, man, she's a bit weird. And then Ash was the first one to go think about it. It's Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's the whole point of it. Yeah,
yeah, good point. She's probably the right person because she's got a
yeah,
weird outlook on life. So she went to the awards once in that meat suit. So do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like she's going to get into this role. So I'm actually really excited for it. She's really like when you look at the way they're doing it and way they're portraying her Harley Quinn, like with the makeup, it's not the Harley Quinn we know, like Margot Robbie's or the one from cartoon. It fits his Joker.
yeah, yeah. I can't wait. It looks so good just from that like couple of minute trailer. I didn't know it was gonna be musical though. Quite interested to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Joaquin we know can sing from Johnny Cash, and
Hmm.
Lady Gaga started with singing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some popular songs. I hope they don't do that. What's that one from the film she did with Bradley Cooper? Because that song seems to be everywhere now.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
Star Is Born or whatever it is?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm interested about that. I'm intrigued about that one really.
Intrigued because we didn't know how that one was going to play out with the first one, and that's now we know it's changing again. Because the one thing about the Joker movie is what you kind of left thinking at the very end when he's in that mental hospital was he telling the truth?
Mm.
Or is that just his mind? And like that's what it looks like in the second one. Like when you see him dancing and spinning around as the Joker and Harley, then they're just in the street in their outfits from Arkham Asylum. Absolutely looks sick.
Yeah.
And then you see him being chased down the street by Arthur Fleck being chased by the Joker and him with the clown mask on.
Yeah.
It's
When the
nearly
cars are running the people over and stuff. Yeah.
absolutely sick. But that's the DC trailer. Literally 24 hours ago, by the time this comes out, it'll have been 5 days ago. A new trailer come out for a Marvel movie, and Marvel has been struggling, right? I don't know what you have done with the Marvel. Have you done all of the original films up to Endgame or anything?
No.
Any of the Deadpools?
Yes. All of
You've seen
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Love
You've seen all
Deadpool.
Deadpool. What about the
Yeah.
X-Men movies?
No.
So bad we're having this chat.
But we're talking about Deadpool, and I like Deadpool. So are we skipping on to that one there?
Yeah, let's go to Deadpool and Wolverine because obviously, I mean, Joker and obviously my three big films this year were definitely Joker, Ghostbusters, and Deadpool and Wolverine. And I believe I can't remember when Joker's coming out, but Deadpool Wolverine's June or July.
The Joker said the fall, so it'd be like later on in the year.
I think it's September. If I remember now, it's September. It's coming out
Yeah.
September, October, which I think it came out around Halloween in 2019 when the first one came along. So yeah, but Deadpool Wolverine is June or July. Is from what I remember.
Yeah. I can't
26
remember
or 20.
exactly. I can Google it.
This
Um.
trailer. Go
Oh my
on.
god, what a trailer!
It
Just
come
the
out
way
of
it
nowhere
starts.
because I was dying to talk about because they've been talking about CinemaCon last week. There was CinemaCon, and that's where they were showing footage of certain things like Deadpool, Wolverine, and what was the other one? Moana 2. Rock had flown straight from WrestleMania to CinemaCon to go show footage for Moana 2.
Was he singing?
Yes, he was doing like,
I
well, he's
think I've
doing like
seen.
Hawaiian dancing.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips of that. Yeah.
And then you had they were showing footage for Captain America: Brave New World, which has got Harrison Ford as potentially Red Hulk, which is quite interesting.
Okay.
If you like, never seen
Uh,
Avengers.
it's always been Green Hulk, as from what I know.
Yeah, Red Hulk is the is there's if you've have you seen any of the Hulk movies?
No. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe when I was younger, but
There's always the General Ross. General Ross is like his girlfriend's dad, I think it is, or something like that. And he's always like the one that hates the Hulk and always hunting the Hulk down from the army. But he eventually becomes Red Hulk, so they always fight. So they're
okay.
enemies. So he's potentially being Captain America. But obviously, they also showed footage for Deadpool and Wolverine, and they supposedly showed the first 9 minutes, and people were talking about the footage. So I was like, okay, we might have to talk about what other people have seen. But then they dropped the trailer, man.
Yeah.
Like,
The way it starts, we're in that bar, and he goes whiskey dick of the I can't even speak whiskey dick of the claws because his claws come like halfway out. Fucking hell, I was pissing out myself laughing at that.
which what I'm glad is obviously the first teaser trailer was all about Wade's side of things, and I was like, are they going to really try and keep a lot of Wolverine hidden? But this one literally starts with Wolverine sitting in the bar, and obviously Hugh Jackman is and always will be my Wolverine.
Yeah,
Potentially, we may see other variants of Wolverine in this movie, like potentially the next Wolverine, because I don't think Hugh Jackman's going to continue to be Wolverine in the new like the newer Marvel universe, but they definitely showed some stuff from that universe intertwining the two.
didn't we
Which
speak
is
about this like on the first episode back like season 2 of the new Wolverine might be?
yes, I think
Seems
we
to
did. There
recollect.
was
Yeah, yeah.
Harry Potter's up in the running and Henry Cavill. Superman and Harry Potter in the running of being one of them. Taron Egerton, who played Elton John,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he was in the
Eggsy
running
in
for it as well.
The Kingsman.
Yes, yeah,
He's a good actor. I like him, but I don't know if he would
very,
suit
very
a
good.
Wolverine.
But
He's not
they
the
first said
biggest
this
of
about
blokes.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh
Yeah,
Jackman was too tall and skinny. Wolverine's meant to be short. But then I was watching a video the other day where someone was saying that they think Daniel Radcliffe's going to be Wolverine, and there was something he did recently where he's actually got kind of like a beard stubble, and he's got his hair looking crazy, and he's ripped, and he's got all like fuzzy hair. I'm like, he literally looks like Wolverine. He literally
yeah.
looks like the comic book version of Wolverine. He would actually really suit the role, to be
That'd
fair.
be interesting. Yeah, that would
Oh
be
mate,
interesting.
very fucking good choice if it is. But we've got Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together. It's going to be hilarious anyway. And I love the fact that obviously everyone's been moaning when they first showed the Wolverine costume. He's got the sleeves, and in the cartoon and the comics, he doesn't have the sleeves. And you see that moment when they walk from behind the truck together, and he's got no sleeves, and his arms just look ripped as
Yeah,
fuck. He looks like a unit. And did you also notice, obviously, the bad guy, Cassandra Nova, who is, I don't know if you know, the bald lady, that's
yeah.
Charles Xavier's sister, twin sister. Charles Xavier's obviously who Patrick Stewart
From
played in X-Men.
yeah, from X Men. I know that. I know about X Men, but I don't think I've ever watched the films. But yeah,
And then when she comes out of the Ant-Man, obviously that's sick, isn't it? You see,
yeah. It's like a skull underneath.
oh, but that's obviously their base, and they're using it. When she
Mm.
comes out, stood along there, there's Toad from X-Men, I believe. I can't remember. Azazel from X-Men First Class. It was like a red. He kind of looks like the devil, but red thing. He kind of also looks like a cross between the devil and Toad from the X-Men. But he's there. Pyro from X-Men is stood there, and I can't remember her name, but the lady from X-Men 2, if you ever saw that one, this like the Oriental lady that's got the claws. She had like the
Yeah,
nails.
yeah. I see her in the trailer. I didn't know. I didn't recognize her, but yeah,
I should have put this down in my notes, but her name was. I'm throwing a blank. I'm literally throwing a blank on what it is. But yeah, so that and if you look as well when they're stood there and you see it come out, there's definitely gaps between them. There's like space, and Marvel are prone to do this where they rub out big moments in trailers, like in the No Way Home trailers. there are scenes where obviously all the Spider-Men are in it, but there's clearly a lot of space when they're jumping through the air. So that they were trying to hide Andrew and Toby.
Yeah.
Wait, trailers throw me a. So look,
You trying to think of who it is?
it's because I'm trying to think about that Professor. It's not Professor X. What is it?
I'm gonna try and Google it. Wolverine. Without watching it again, I don't think we're gonna be able to see her.
Oh, no, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. I've got it somewhere. Where is it? Where is it?
But yeah, while Ryan finds that,
Lady Deathstrike.
oh, there we go. Let us know what your thoughts are on the two trailers we spoke about so far: Deadpool, Wolverine, and the Joker. Let us know in the comments.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, that completely threw me because I purposely in my head was trying to remember the names earlier when I was watching the trailer and reading notes about the trailer. Is Lady Deathstrike and Azazel aren't the only characters in this trailer. Yeah, but it's loads of characters from X-Men, so I think there's going to be a lot more
Yeah.
surprise appearances. And obviously, you noticed the bit when they're jumping out of Ant-Man's skull into the portal.
Yeah.
First off, where are them portals from?
No idea.
Doctor Strange is the one that opens them portals,
Yeah.
so it could be one of his portals. And like usually when you see the portals open, you can see where they're going through, and it's a full-on view. That is definitely 100%. Like they've scrubbed it out. It's just meant to look like a sky, so there's nothing there, so we can't pick up anything wherever they're about to go. And I think they're about to jump into the Marvel universe.
Yeah, because don't they keep referencing like Wolverine saving his planet before? Like Deadpool keeps
Yes.
referencing that in the thingy. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
It's definitely going to cross over between the old Fox universe and the new MCU universe. And again, it's going to be cameo filled. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises, and I think we're going to see like what we've always wanted to see. And it may only be a one-off, but some of the old X-Men with the newer Marvel characters, some of the new
Mm-hmm.
Marvel universe superheroes. That would
Yeah.
definitely be definitely a thing. I'm calling that right now. Absolutely. And then the other trailer we watched, Transformers 1. And Woody was asking me my opinion before we started recording. I said, no, save it for the podcast. And he said one word. You thought it was?
Shit.
Really?
I'm not a fan. Yeah.
So I
I was
kind of enjoyed it.
expecting. I wasn't expecting like a cartoony, like child's thing, and then I was sat watching
It's
it
not.
with Mrs. Go on.
This is a geek podcast, right? We're all big kids.
Yeah, but I was
We all
expecting the original Transformers. You know, like the proper Transformers. I didn't know what I was going into.
the live
And
action
then
ones.
yeah, Chantel said while we're watching it, it's like Power Rangers meets Transformers. That's what it reminded her of.
Yeah, I suppose it does. It is very animating and it's very cool, but I kind of like it because I think if they put enough plug on this to get a couple of movies out of this, they're giving themselves time to restart the actual Transformers universe. Because I mean, obviously Bumblebee was a good movie, but the newer one not so great.
Mm.
They need to just start again and give a couple of animated movies because that's where it started, wasn't it? Transformers for
Yeah, yeah,
animation. Do a couple of little movies, but I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a cool little Transformers animation because obviously, again, I came from the era of the 80s where Transformers was massive. So seeing them on Cybertron and where it all starts, quite a cool little story. I don't mind that.
yeah. I probably will watch it if it's going to be a continuous thing. I wasn't expecting it to be because I hadn't heard nothing about it until you wrote it on the little document to what to watch. I just thought it was going to be another Transformers like live action movie, like the others I've seen, like Bumblebee and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll watch it, give it a go. Not going to write it off straight away.
Well, we obviously, I was just reading through the listener questions. Obviously, the two questions you had, we've basically answered, haven't
Yeah,
we? Scott's question, obviously, my
yeah.
mate
Scott
Scotty.
asked what our thoughts were on the Deadpool Wolverine trailer. We just spoke about that.
I'm not gonna lie, loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm well
Yeah.
happy with how that's looking, and I'm pretty sure it won't be a flop. And Marvel need it, man. Like Marvel have taken a massive dive, and obviously DC's in the process of resetting, and they are fully in production as Superman. Little snippets are coming here and there of stuff from the set. I'm looking forward to it. And they just started shooting Peacemaker season 2. Did you say you've never seen Peacemaker? Right?
No, I've never seen
Honest
it.
to God, watch it. Find it
I'll add it to my
online
list.
and watch it. Yeah, we really need to get you to watch some of this stuff, mate. Because then,
Yeah, I'll watch it when baby's here, when I'm sat downstairs feeding her. They give me some
yeah.
time. And during the nighttime feeds and stuff, I'll just sit and watch some
Peacemaker's
stuff.
fucking hilarious. John Cena is unbelievable. You need to kind of watch The Suicide. I don't know if you've seen The Suicide Squad. There was Suicide Squad, the one with Jared Leto's Joker, and then
I
there
don't know
was
which one I've seen. Might have seen them both.
Was Will Smith in the
but-
one you've seen?
Yeah.
Then you haven't seen the other one. Then the other one's
Right, okay.
funnier one, if anything. Definitely the funnier one.
Speaking of John Cena, I'm sure it's his birthday the day we're recording this. So happy birthday, John Cena.
He's over there, but you can't see him.
Sure, I read it on Twitter earlier on. So
Yeah, everyone's looking out for him on his birthday.
yeah.
I've got some listener questions as well. I've got some
Fire
questions.
away.
Let's have a look. Well, one of them, ironically, my mate Harry, he's one of the GMs that I work for, and I'm working for him this Saturday actually, doing an R&B brunch in Hartford. He sent me like one of them real videos on Instagram, I think it was, and said it was basically a guy doing Stone Cold Steve Austin as a best man speech. And he said, you should use this on your podcast. If you could pick one person to do your best man speech, who would it be? So Harry asked that. And I was like, funny enough, I've literally just done a best man speech on Sunday. And if I could have done it as anyone else, I couldn't have got away with a wrestling one because it was only me and Ash that are really the wrestling fans in the room, as far as I know. But if you could have anyone, right, do your best man speech from any universe, who would it be?
Have you got an answer to this? Because I'm gonna have to think about it.
I had two. I'm gonna go with one, Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Full Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, because I think he'd be absolutely hilarious. Because what I loved about best man speeches is when you get people involved indirectly, and I think Ace Ventura, like, come on, alrighty then, who's the best man?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
would be a good one. And Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If I was going to take a serious turn with my best man speech, and I wanted someone, because obviously I'd like to think that my speech is going to be the funny one. I want someone with a voice that everyone would just listen to and be really nice, because I'm going to do all the comedy side of it. Morgan Freeman.
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough, is that yours?
Well, that'd be a good one to have. But I don't know. I think if I was to go with a comedy person, probably Lee Evans, my favourite comedian ever. Seen him live. I just think he'd be up there sweating to death doing his speech. Yeah, I went to see him live on his last tour. His last tour, Monsters.
Was it Monsters? Oh, mate, I'm gutted. I was always wanted to go, and I just never got to go.
I just booked tickets and went on my own. And funny enough, my wife now was at that same venue before we'd even met. We both went to the same show before we'd even met.
Amazing, nice. And you went on your own?
Yeah, I just went on my own, yeah.
Cheers for the invite. I probably would have gone with you, right?
As if you had come all the way to Sheffield.
Mate, when was this? How long ago would this have been?
I was living up here.
Right, so
you were probably in Mali somewhere at the time.
Yeah, more than likely. Probably abroad. But yeah, no, I missed his final tour, and it's one of those things that when he did that announcement on Jonathan Ross, it just out of the blue. So how long are you going to do this for? And he's like, "This is it."
Yeah.
I watch that video and think, man, we lost an absolute gem. And obviously, he's still done little things. He's done a couple of interviews and done a few plays, but I always just hope in my back of my head he's just going to do one last tour so I can jump on it.
Yeah, I didn't regret going. Like I say, it was such a fucking good night. He's just so good. Yeah.
No, this is what you want, Lee. DVD video. Come on, bro. No. Rent them, tape them, fuck them. So is that who you'd have as your best man speech? Lee Evans.
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
good answer. We had another question from a listener, Kaz, who also asked one of the questions for the interview that we got coming out on May the 4th. Would be something to do with Star Wars. But I'm going to apologise in advance, Kaz, because I'm pretty sure, even if we had Tony here, none of us are fans of this. So I'll ask the question anyway. Are you into Game of Thrones and House of Dragons? And who are you backing, Team Green or Team Black for you and your team? I've never watched it.
Me neither. We're the
Never
wrong crowd
watched
for
it.
that one.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I tried watching Game of Thrones, like the first few episodes, and I couldn't get into it. I really struggled getting into it.
Yeah,
And
I think my missus has watched it, but I'm the same. Something never caught my attention.
yeah, well, you think Shan's watched it? We need to get Shan on an episode, mate. We should have just got
Yeah.
her in. She got her in as the third. She's probably sitting there, bored out of her head tonight, while you're doing this.
She's probably gone to bed, to be fair.
No, all right, fair enough. So yeah, sorry, Kaz. It's one of those I'd love to talk about, but I don't think Tony's into it.
Yeah, maybe we'll approach this question when Tony's here and see if he has. Maybe we'll get an answer out of him. Someone like he might have watched it. You never
And
know.
I did have two questions. Actually, Shane, from the radio, Shane, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
He asked about 5 or 6 questions, but I was like, I didn't want to use them all now because there's 6, like quite a few questions. Plus, there is only the 2 of us, so you might not get as many answers. But I took 2, which was one was Star Wars or Star Trek, which is I'm the only one that can answer that.
Right. All right, I've got an answer to that.
Neither.
Star Wars.
It would be Star Wars or Star Trek.
I've seen more Star Wars than I have Star Trek.
Okay, so me it would be Star Trek because I mean I love Star Wars, but Star Trek I was a massive Trekkie as a kid.
Yeah.
Long and Prosper and all that, mate. Massive Trekkie. But the one question that stood out that I wanted to ask from Shane, and it was really good. If you had a TARDIS, if you don't know, is the Doctor's time.
I know
machine.
what a TARDIS is.
And could travel anywhere, where would you go? Now, I was thinking about this, and I come up with 2 answers. If you had a TARDIS and could travel anywhere, where would you go? I was thinking of 2 answers. One answer was a personal one, and one was if I could travel across any like universe with the TARDIS, and it had to be any universe like of any film, comic that I ever wanted to go to. I know the answer to that. Do you want a minute to think while I tell mine?
Yeah. Can you go back in time?
Yeah, it's a TARDIS. It's time and
Okay.
relative dimension. You can go back in
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
you can go forward in time, you can go across the universe. It goes anywhere and everywhere, time and space.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to think about it.
Me, my personal one, and this is going to put up the heartstrings, it's obvious. Personal one would be seeing my dad.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. It was to see my
That's your
dad.
granddad.
Yeah, your granddad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, I guarantee we talk about him again on this when we get to my Mandela effect and how you'll know why I'm dying to get to that. But yeah, personal one would be obviously go and see my dad, spend the day with my dad. Which I don't know, like as well, when I think about that, would that be harder to get to spend the day with him again? Because if you never watched Doctor Who, they actually did an episode in the first season of the new Doctor Who when Christopher Eccleston was the Doctor and Billie Piper was Rose. She went to see her dad, and her dad died when she was a baby.
Right.
And like, what time would you go? She went to and saw when it happened, when her dad died, and he got run over, and she stopped it. But like, obviously,
that can affect future things, can't it?
It can affect future things and stuff like that. So, me, I feel like I would like to go further. I couldn't deal with that, going with that part of it, which is making it obviously quite a sad one. But I'd go further back and just spend
A
probably
good
take
day, like
yeah, watching football.
Yeah.
I'll go out, but personal one, but then fandom one before we start making everyone cry. Yeah.
What? Sorry?
Have you thought of one yet? Of a fandom one, if you was to go across any universe or anywhere like that?
No, I've got a couple in my head, but I can't like put why or what I'd want to go to. So go on, you answer yours, and I'm just going to continue thinking while I'm listening to yours.
My universe that I was thinking about and I was like, I could think of a million ones, and I could go, Marvel, DC. I could go for all of the movies, but you know what one stuck out?
What?
Goonies. And I was like, I'd love to take the TARDIS and do the Goonies journey with them
Mm,
because, and
that'll be funny.
that, but at the same
Just
time,
tag along.
I just thought about it really. If I'm really thinking about that, I was thinking about the adventure, going on an adventure, being innocent. Obviously, because Stand By Me is my favourite movie, so it'd be great to do that. But then, obviously, that one's them four boys enough. The Goonies needed my help, but then at the same time, I just realised if I'm going in the TARDIS, it doesn't mean my age changes, so I'll be full adult, and I just,
Just walking a bunch of kids.
uh, I'll probably end up being on the telly side. Fucking hell, I didn't think that one through, did I? I thought I had a really good reason. I thought, it'd be a really good adventure. Then all of a sudden it hit me just as I was saying it. I'm like, do you know what? I'll be an adult and I'll be my age.
I can't think of one that I'd go back to. You know, I might think about this while we move on and then come back to it.
Yes, absolutely. I might have to quickly change mine as well because I'm quickly looking at another one. Yep.
Yeah.
Ghostbuster. With the adults, not the kids ones. It's really weird. Trailers and geek news done. Listener questions. What have we been geeking over? So if we put that one to Tony. Tony, I'll ask you that question. No, it's
Radio
not.
silence.
Radio silence. What have we been geeking over? Have you been up to? I know you've been playing a lot of WWE, haven't you?
Yeah, which going back on the wrestling, there's not really been much coming out. Like other than the trailers we already spoke about, there's not really been much going on over the past couple of weeks. The new stuff, new games.
A lot of people are telling me to watch Fallout. Which was. Did you ever play Fallout?
I know, but I know some people who did.
Yeah.
I've
See,
never played it.
I played it when we had the game shop
Mm.
because obviously my main job was to test all the games. So I was taking some of the time. Obviously, I was literally, long story short, Ryan's dad asked me to run a game shop for him, and my job was to sell the games and spend a lot of time testing the games. So I tasted up. It's the first time I played Fallout, and there was an Alien game at the time. I ended up completing that, but Fallout I quite liked. I was getting quite into it, but because I never actually had the game, I never continued it. I was just playing it at the store on the Xbox that we had in the shop. So
Yeah.
I know the game, I know it's good, but everybody's saying to me, "You need to watch Fallout. It looks so fucking good." And I've seen a trailer. It does look good. It does look
I think
really
I've
good.
seen it as well. I think I might have seen it on TikTok.
But I don't know if they're doing it like if they've released a full season or they're doing it episodes. I think they're doing episodes on it.
Yeah. What's it coming out on? Do you know?
That's the thing. I didn't know. I thought it might be Prime.
It is. It is Prime.
It's Prime, yeah. Is it been
It's
released?
season. There's 9 episodes.
And these have all come out, have they?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be something to go and watch.
I might
Oh,
give
there's
that a
2
start
seasons.
to be fair. There'll be I think only the first season's just come out.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about that. But I've been watching Dexter. I've been rewatching Dexter. Did you ever fuck with Dexter? Not in a gay way.
No. I have watched a couple of episodes. But I watched a weird thing on Netflix. I don't know if you've heard everyone talking about it. The Baby Reindeer.
I've not watched it. No, Trini started watching it, but she said she turned it off about 10 minutes into it. She said got weird.
It's fucking weird. I watched the whole thing in one sitting with the missus yesterday. It's weird. It does get fucking weird.
How many episodes is it? Was it a movie?
Sorry?
Is it episodes or a movie?
Episodes. It's like 9 episodes.
You've done the whole thing yesterday.
Yeah. But it's at the guy who is the main character in it. It's a true story on his life. So he has to replay everything, basically relive everything that he went through.
That's what I heard. Was that's it? Like the guy it's actually him.
It's his story. He's just dramatized certain parts of it, and he's like renamed the people so people don't know the real people that. I don't want to spoil it for people, but yeah, he's changed certain parts of it, dramatized it a little bit, but it's basically what happened to him.
Ooh, do you recommend it then?
Yeah, like if you can put up with the weird fucking weirdness of it, then yeah, I'd watch it. It does get weird.
Hey, look, maybe we should talk about when Ash comes back because he definitely loves getting things fucking weird. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Obviously, I fell asleep watching Raw. Well, I say I fell asleep. I put Dexter back on. I said that's all I've been watching is rewatching. I'm at season 3 of Dexter because I never really wanted to rewatch. I love that show, but it ended so badly originally, and then recently they've done a new season of it. So now I'm rewatching it. It's kind of one of those like I'm actually excited for the original season to end because even though I know I'm going to hate that bit, I know the good season's about to happen afterwards again because they continue to slog.
Yeah, I think I've only ever watched a couple of episodes of it. Never like fully got into that.
It is really good, really fucking good. The premise of it, like the guy is a serial killer, but he works for the police, but he only kills bad guys, and
Yeah,
that's how he gets away with it. It's fucking very clever, and the storyline, some of the bad guys in it are fucking insane. Um, I said I had a Mandela effect to talk about, and again, I really, really wanted this to be between me and Tony because what I'm about to do with this Mandela effect, I really hope, and because I wanted to ask Tony first, Mandela effect is the name of a
you're
chocolate.
gonna hope I know about it, right?
I'm gonna. I should believe that your answer will be almost the same as mine on this.
Okay.
There is a chocolate, right? And a lot of people are only just realizing what it's actually called and what they've been calling it for years. Now, I'm going to show you the chocolate, Woody, and you're going to tell me what you would call this.
Blue ribbon. What would you call it?
Right. So I've always called it. I've known it as blue ribbon. Yeah, but I've always called it what my dad called it, and that's why I thought you'd say the same because I thought you would say just when I said that we were
I,
talking about
I
granddad
was just
effect.
gonna say because Granddad had them in the house constantly, 24/7.
And he
What?
always called them blue riband.
Ah,
Maybe
so I
you were
see.
too
I
young to
might have
remember
been
that.
too young. Yeah.
Do you remember that? But I've always called them blue riband because that's how I knew him because my dad loved these chocolates. He lived and breathed them, and I've always thought it was just blue riband uh,
Yeah.
because that's how we say it in English. But because Dad was Scottish, he said blue riband because of his accent. But no, they're actually called blue riband. It's the name of the guy that created it.
You see, I
Blue.
always thought it was blue ribbon. I just thought it was blue ribbon. I never knew that.
So I've always, again, like I said, for me, it was just mad that it is actually called Blue Ribbon because I just thought Dad, it was just his accent. That's how it is. But
Yeah, the
no,
way you said it. Yeah.
it's the way he said it in his accent. So I've always called him that because that's how my dad said it, and that's how he said it in his accent. And they were his favourite chocolates.
They
But
were.
they are
No,
actually
you can
called
tuck into
Blue Ribbon. I've been dying to tuck into. I didn't want to show you it because I didn't want to give it away what chocolate it was.
one. I've been dying to find out what that Mandela effect has been for ages. That's going to be a good clip on TikTok.
Mm.
I like
Right,
that one. While you sit there and enjoy your blue ribbon or
you're
riband.
on the next topic.
Yes. So is wrestling still cool? I know we said at the top of the episode that we were going to tone the wrestling down a little bit, but we're going to do a little recap of the past couple of weeks and just maybe finish the wrestling talk off maybe this time, and then we'll catch up in a couple of weeks when some other big stuff happens. So we're gonna have a quick roundup of what's gone on since Mania. Um, what are your thoughts been? Any things that stand out to you?
To be honest, I'm a little bit deflated by it. I'm not gonna. I feel what everyone's feeling. There are a lot of people. I don't like that they're blaming Cody because they're saying that Cody's just doing the same thing, but he was doing the same thing before this. But there was the hype of Mania. They're starting again. All the
Yeah,
storylines are setting, so that everything's got. They've now got to find promise and pursue the right storylines. There's obviously quite a lot of wrestlers that are injured from Mania. Jinder Mahal's just quit. Did you see that?
but I heard he got released, and he got released, but then he said he quit. So it's like, who do you believe? Because they released a few people, didn't they?
Yes, they've released quite a few people, which is good and bad. But I'm sorry.
But like you say though, the roster is really scarce right now. Like there's only a couple of people at the top are basically doing every show at the minute.
Yes. And they've done Mania, and then they've gone to the UK and come back. They were in the UK last week, and we've had a Raw and a SmackDown in that week. So they haven't stopped. They're probably all exhausted from that build up.
Yeah, and we've got the draft starting this next Friday. The day this episode comes out, the draft starts.
And I really hope that what happens there is that's the reset, because that's what you need. Without being horrible, Cody needs to either be on Raw or SmackDown to give Damian Priest to shine, because obviously, yes, Cody's over both because of the championship, and Roman was able to go, but he needs to be on one or the other to let the World Heavyweight Championship get focused, and then you've also got the Intercontinental, the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
I'm probably.
You enjoy that, mate. Speaking of the Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley sadly got injured, like the Raw after Mania. Or no, week after that, wasn't it? With Liv Morgan attacking her.
It was the night after when it went the first Raw, and then the Raw after.
Oh yeah, she vacated the title, which I think is gutting for her. She's just gone through that Mania, the great match with Becky Lynch, and then has to just drop the title because she's got an injury.
And then obviously we've just had, like last night, we had the Battle Royale to crown the new champion. He's won it. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I weren't keen on the Battle Royale idea. Felt like it was just a quick way of getting a new champion.
Yeah, and I got a bit bored of it watching last night. Like, I really thought they were going to give it to Nia Jax, and I was fuming because I thought that woman is just a liability.
Yeah, she's dangerous in the ring, and we said this when before I fell asleep watching it. I was like, yeah, no, let's hope Nia doesn't get it, because I mean, she tries her best, and she is a powerhouse, but I don't rate her in ring ability as much as I do some of the others that deserve it.
She tried to throw Piper Niven through the table on top of Becky Lynch yesterday. I could barely pick her up. Like, she was struggling. I thought that they were going to hurt either Piper or Becky in that process, because Becky was laid on the announce table, and I thought, well, someone's going to end up injured here. It's going to have another injury for the women's division. Luckily, everyone was all right.
See, I mean, what it didn't make sense to me, right? They've just done this battle royale to do it. Drew was the first one to mention King of the Ring last night. Why didn't they do a King of the Ring tournament?
Because that's in a few weeks.
It was like just a quick way to get a champion back on there, when realistically they should have just given her the belt at Mania.
Yeah.
No, it was inevitable, not because Rhea was injured, but at the same time, no, she's got the belt now. She's not 20 other people. That doesn't make sense. I don't like giving belts from battle royales or Royal Rumbles. I don't think that makes sense. The idea is that you're meant to get a number one contender out of that, and then you start a storyline with it.
Yeah. But Rhea had this injury on the lead up to Mania. She was on like TV shows and interviews before Mania. She had a cast on.
Yeah.
So she was already had this injury. So if they knew that she was going to be out after Mania, they should have just dropped it at Mania, and then could have built a storyline around Becky Lynch instead of having this battle royale for no reason. You're right there.
My camera's doing my absolute fucking spinning. By the way, to any listeners that I don't know if you've seen this, I've decided to be one of those guys today, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really not. Also, have you seen us in the background, Ryan? You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, Leo. Long time no see, Leo.
Leo's never been on this podcast. Leo's here.
Does he still have a Twitter account? I remember you used to have a Leo the Lion Twitter.
He did. Yeah, you've been wanting to be on the podcast for a while. Yeah, he's been wanting to be on this for a while. Leo, for those who don't know, is one of my best mates in the whole wide world. I won Leo. Yep. In Zante 2010. I was the rep that sold the most tickets to our World Cup games, and the prize was Leo.
So and he's got a different top on from when I last see him.
What did he have last time?
I don't know. He definitely wanted to Just Bring It top.
He's had a few. He's had a Just Bring It top. He's had a Superman t-shirt.
That's what it was. It was Superman.
Yeah. He said, "Fuck you," right? Leo, what I told you.
Come on, mate. I ain't seen you in ages.
Yeah, exactly. There he is. His own Twitter account. There's loads of stuff on there, isn't there, mate? Leo's been all across Europe with me. I was going to take it to America when I went, but didn't have space for you. He said I'm a prick for doing that. Anyway, you go back over there. Leo, yeah. Leo's older than some of my kids.
That's mad, isn't
He's
it?
only 2 years younger than Brad.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's Leo. Woody, this is the thing where it's just been us two. We've kind of done everything we need to talk about in 50 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I feel like we might have to do something extra, Woody.
What do you want to do?
I'll be back in a minute.
Got a special guest coming on. I'd like to introduce you.
I'm trying to pretend I'm not out of the camera. Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to Brad and Chad on the Talks with Dorks podcast. That is Chad.
What's happening, Brad?
Yo, my dude.
What are we doing? This is how we
Chad, sort your camera out. Why are we finishing the podcast like this?
Yo, dude, it's your boy Chad, and that's Brad. This is totally right with Brad and Chad, man. No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to.
So, if you didn't know, after the podcast recording we did last week, me and Ryan decided to go live on our Talks with Dorks gaming channel on Twitch, and we just had a right laugh at like 2 a.m.
Yes, and I was totally in character of Chad. You didn't have a voice then as Brad, did you? You just became Brad.
No, I just put my glasses on halfway through, and it was a funny moment.
It was hilarious, to be fair. Like, we literally, it was so late as well, and I was getting so tired. I don't know if I even told you that when you said to me, you set all up that Twitch, and when you said to me, you better still want to go live or whatever, you said something like that. As soon as we started, I was well tired. I was like, I can't be asked, but I promised him I'd stay on and do it. But
Yeah, but you had been Brad for a long time, Chad for a long time at that point. You were doing it for ages.
I couldn't shake it the next day either. Like, it's taken me a while to shake it. I've kind of like come to terms with him now, I think.
Yeah, you've done enough of him.
But I think pretty much wrapped up, mate.
Yeah, that is it.
It's been a strange one because I think this has it felt weird for you because like we planned this. Obviously, I know it's not Tony's fault, but obviously he's got illness in the family. But we planned this as a third one. Like, we were prepared to be a freeway on this. That sounds weird. Prepared to be a freeway on it, and we planned it out so well. Once I actually wrote out an episode rundown, and I've never usually done that, not even since the early days. And I think like where we planned it out like that at the beginning, me and you were kind of like,
yeah,
we had to ease into like trying to think of how we were gonna, because you've been planning this, everything you were going to talk about as a freeway, like I had.
Yeah, and I think that the topics would have like dragged out a bit more with the three of us having 3 different people talking about it. But hopefully next week, maybe we could drop a little tease about what's coming out next Saturday.
Next week we won't have a full episode, but we mentioned it a little bit earlier. We recorded an interview last week with the one and only Ross Sandbridge, who is a Star Wars actor, due to be released on May the 4th. He played Snoke, not Andy Serkis, who was the voice of Snoke. He was the body of Snoke, as Dave Prowse was to James L. Jones's voice in Darth Vader. This is the guy who done the actions, all the movements was him. And he also played a Wookiee in Han Solo story, Star Wars. So he's a big actor, and we are bringing this out, like I said, May the 4th. So we're doing a big Star Wars celebration. So May the 4th be with you. We've also still got, Woody, what have we still got that we can promote?
Oh yeah, we've still got our code for Tree Frog grading. See, I got it right that time. I always say gaming normally. So that is TWD 15 at checkout, and you can put a little note in there as well and tell them that we sent you, because they're on their way to 20,000 cards graded this year. So hopefully we can help them get there.
And if you're a card collector and you like getting your cards graded, why not go to one of the biggest companies in the UK, and someone that if you haven't already seen her interview with, you can just tell from the way she spoke in the interview how much care they take over these cards to make sure you get the correct grading. So go get it done, and you get 15% off with us. Why not?
And she'll be coming back on soon as well, hopefully, for a little catch up,
Yes,
see how things are going.
probably next month. We'll try and speak to her for next month. Give her a couple of months to get a few cards in. Hopefully, a few of ours come her way.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, our socials are at Talk Podcast, Facebook, X. I was going to say Twitter, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, at Talk Podcast. We've also got our gaming channel. Woody, tell them the details for that.
It's at Talks with Dorks on everything. We try to keep that handle. Or you can type in TWD Gaming. I'm sure it comes up with that as well. Talks with Dorks Gaming.
Lots of more content. And at Talk Podcast on YouTube, or just search Talks with Dorks. Hopefully that's where you're watching this right now. Apologies that it was just mine and Woody's beautiful faces you had to deal with this week, but I'm sure Tony's come back, and again sending lots of love to his family. And as promised, Ash, I've convinced him. I got him at the right level of drunk, convinced him to come do an episode sometime. It may be too weird to release, but we'll get something out of it for you.
We'll get something out of there, yeah.
Any final words from you, Woody?
Adios. I'm officially Woody now as well. I forgot to mention that. I'm officially Woody on everything.
Oh yeah, do our own personal socials as well. You were II Ryan. Now you're just simply
just iWoody HD, which is simple. You can find me on everything. I've rebranded everything to the same thing now as well.
You
Whereas
officially became Woody the character.
Yep, that is it.
You could also go follow Rad with Chad on TikTok.
Yeah, please do that. That'd be funny.
It'd be funny, right? Final word then, Woody. You said adios already. Anything else?
No, adios.
See you later.